Welcome again, everybody, to that session. Checklist 14 elements to starting and building a thriving business in Africa, in Cameroon, wherever you find yourself, as long as you are building in Africa. Of course, it can also work if you are in the Middle East, in Europe, wherever you are. You can contextualize it to fit you, but I'm going to give elements and examples that fit the African terrain, considering governance issues, considering political issues, considering customers' buying behavior, considering policies that bind businesses, and all of these intricacies that strongly contribute to every business. And it is critical that you note some of these things from a personal perspective as to you as an entrepreneur, to the environment, to the customers, to policies, to laws of the land, whatever you think of, these elements are going to cut across you, team, and all of these things that I have mentioned. So, and it's important to note them, and they're also going to act like a blueprint. As I always say, even if you give me 3 months, I cannot teach you everything about business. So that's why a good business person is also a personal seeker. You know, some of these things will give you blueprints, point you to the right direction, and you go forward. That's why after sessions like this, some people now come for one-on-one coaching to go deeper into certain things that will enable them build a thriving business. So let us look at the checklist, 14 elements that you need to consider when as you start or you plan to start, if you have started, or you already started and you're building, the things you should be considering in that process. Number one, we're going to start from the basics, and then we'll climb until we get to number 14. But not analyze yourself. Throughout the session, you should be doing a self-analysis for you. Analyze yourself as an entrepreneur. Analyze yourself as an executive working in a business. Analyze the business you already have and see where you need to cause change after this session. That's what we're talking about. Next, the first checklist, the first element we need to look at is you need to have the definite desire to build a thriving business. You need to have that strong desire to build a thriving business, to start and build a business that will go places. Desire is very important. Anybody who has a strong desire can build an incredible business. But people who start a business just from the place of ego or from the place of, you know, you want to, maybe you have looked for jobs until you are tired. And the only option now is, no, I start a small business. It's good, but you will build it in a different way from somebody who is building from the place of passion and the desire to succeed. You see, because if you look at the dictionary, desire means the strong element of wanting to have something. It's a strong feeling. A strong feeling of wanting to have something, or a strong feeling of wishing for something to happen. That's why I always say something funny. If you're an entrepreneur and you're building a business right now, and you have not seen that business 10 years ahead, you have not sat like this, and you have written the things you want to see that business manifest 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now, then you don't even believe in that business that you're building. You're just joking. You're building like somebody who is, if you see a good job, you will leave the business and go get a job. If you have a strong desire, you are building a business right now, the monthly profit is just 30,000 francs. But you see a job of 3 million francs monthly salary, it doesn't move you a bit. No matter how good the job is, you will always choose your business. It's not just about the money. You're building a legacy for yourself. You want to be fulfilled. You want to solve a problem in the society and be significant. You want to impact lives. You want to be the person that want to help 10,000 people, 100 people put food on their table because they have jobs. You are so committed in the journey. Your desire, that feeling to see it go places is so strong. That's the first element, which is on you, the personality. Do you have that definite desire to start and build a thriving business? Number two, the second element in this checklist is the commitment to learning how great businesses are built, managed, and consistently grown. The commitment to learning how great businesses are built, managed, and consistently grown. Very important element. If you are building a business right now and you are not committed to learn how a great business in your industry was built, was managed, and how the executives of that business grow, you are not serious in building a business. That's why I always say something funny. Any thriving entrepreneur, any thriving young entrepreneur, you should read at least one full biography of a successful CEO or a successful company. Let's say, for example, if you're in technology and you're really serious, by now you must have read the biography of Steve Jobs, the biography of Bill Gates, or the biography of any great tech company. You must have watched a documentary of how a tech company like Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, of how they built this company, how they manage it, how they're managing it, and how they're growing it. You just need to read and know. There are some of you here that you are running a business. If I ask you, tell me the top 10 companies in your industry, you will not tell me. You have no idea even. You don't even know which company is the biggest in your industry, which is the most innovative, which is 100 years old. What are they doing? You have no idea. You are not doing that to copy. There are many benefits of doing that. There are many benefits of doing that. You do that, you learn. Because your mind can never have everything. You cannot sit on your own and generate the best ideas. No, you have to read what others did. You have to read where the industry is coming from. Read the challenges the people in your industry faced 10 years ago. Read how they're managing right now. Read their anticipations for the future. So the commitment to learning how great businesses in your industry, how they were built, how they were managed, and are currently being managed, and how they are consistently growing. It's very important. So my charge to you is look for a company that is successful in your industry right now. Look for the biography of the CEO of that company and read. Look for the book. Most of them are online free. Go on YouTube. There are different journalists and investigative expert business journalists that have profiled all of these great companies, looking at their history, where they are and where they're going, interviewing the CEOs and all of that. They have done that already. It's just a commitment to sit down and watch it. Some of you may need to buy it. You may need to buy Netflix, go on Netflix and watch a movie about a CEO. It's important to do that. You will learn a lot. Number three, which is very important for when you're at the starting stage, the first-hand experience in working in a great business. Element number three, the first-hand experience in working in a great business. Now, what does it mean This means that if you're you're planning to start a business, one of the things I always recommend, let me explain this point by giving an example. That's point 3, the first-hand experience in working in a great business. When you come to me that you want to start a business sometimes, but you already have your capital, let's say, who is here that I can see the name quickly? Okay, let's say that a big girl comes to me that she's planning to start a laundry business. And let's say 2 years ago, 1 year ago, when she was planning to start her cleaning business, for example. Sometimes, if there's somebody already, many people always save their capital before they plan to start a business, then they come for consulting. So when you come sometimes, I always advise, there are many people have advised them, okay, keep the money. The first step of our coaching is I want you to go and volunteer for at least 1 month, 30 days in a pressing company. Go and volunteer in one of the best pressing companies around. Just go there, you want to do internship, you're a student, they want to do internship for 1 month. And just go through the process of everything that a laundry business goes through. Go and observe how they acquire customers. Go and observe how they attend to customers. Go and observe how they package dresses. Go and observe how they iron dresses. Go and observe how they record their money. Go and observe how they manage employees. Go and observe how employees deal with their bosses. Go and observe how they manage mistakes. Go and observe how they manage conflicts. Many of these things, no book will teach you. You have to be in the process. You have to experience it. It helps you build a better business. There's a research I read which said that people who became employees first before starting a business actually run more successful businesses than people who left school or just woke up one day and started their own business. Because they are starting with the experience where they have already made mistakes in another place. They're starting their own from the place of experience, and they already know what they will avoid. Like, for example, I always say that one of my best gifts, one of my best blessings in my entrepreneurial journey is that, number one, I did this thing called DS Max. You know, these companies that recruit young people and all of that, train them, and they give them goods to move from door to door to sell. I did DS Max in 2019 or so, 2009 in Boya. So we moved door to door. There's no quarter in Boya I've not gone door to door. Just the experience of moving door to door, knocking somebody's door, and starting a conversation. Some of you don't even know how to start a conversation from afresh to sell something. You don't even know. That was some of you don't even know how to build new networks. You got to sit beside somebody, you don't even know how to start a conversation. You see, it's easier for me to start a conversation with any human being. Imagine, just picture yourself moving door to door. For those who have never done that, moving door to door. It's there from you carrying something on your head and you're just passing. Somebody sees it, like it, they call you. No, this one is different. You go to somebody's door, you knock the door, the person is coming out expecting to meet a friend or somebody, and then they see you, a totally strange face, carrying products to sell. Then you need to start a conversation to keep them engaged, to make them buy. Now imagine that process. Then after that, sometimes there are days you go and knock door to door from 8 o'clock to 4 p.m. and you don't sell a product for 500 francs. Just that experience of being rejected throughout the day. No book can teach me that kind of courage. No book can teach me that kind. That's why I have a lot of resilience. I know how to be rejected the whole day. I know how to go out the whole week and sell just 1,000 francs. So there's no business failure. There's no rejection that now a business that overwhelms me. I just laugh at it and I continue going. I keep building my stuff. There's no business problem that can depress me now. I was trained for it since 2009. You see, if something is going wrong in my business, we are sorting it out and going forward. I already have the resilience. I already have the resilience to do it better. Now, My biggest secret is that I'm so good at converting those experiences into important assets. The way I use it, the way I use it now is different. You see, the way I use it now is different. Even my experience of working at a bakery, in a cyber cafe, in car wash, all of this funny in the documentation, selling, I've sold petrol on the street. I've done all this funny stuff just to raise money. So that has built me before. That's why I say, see, fear an entrepreneur who is in the corporate sector with street sense of the street. You see me, I have a lot of street sense. I have a lot of, so I know the hard stuff. Sometimes people see me, they see all the suit and the corporate nature, I just look small, nice, and all of that. They don't know the wrong where I'm coming from. But sometimes people are like, what is the difference? This helped a lot. And of course, my first job, my first ever formal job I had as a finance clerk in a microfinance, my first formal job, where I had, and I was the finance officer in that microfinance, greatly helped me also in building, in being, that was my first corporate experience per se. So you see, leaving the streets and now working for a year plus in a more structured corporate environment now gave me a better experience on how I can build my own business and learn in the process. So some of you are still to start. Actually, if you are working right now, it's also a very big blessing for you. Don't hate the business. Use that as a platform to learn. Some of you may need to go and intentionally volunteer in a similar business. It's important. Number four, the fourth element in the checklist to starting and building a thriving business is the dedication to excellence and consistent value creation. Dedication to excellence and consistent value creation. Very important in business. Very important. Excellence is a force in business. If you want your business to go places, excellence is a force. Excellence in customer service, excellence in your operations, excellence in how you deal with your staff, excellence in every important thing. You have this wire in your head that's always charging you. Make sure any activity you're doing in your business should be excellent. Then, consistent value creation. For a business to stay relevant and to grow and to thrive, you need to always consistently create value. You are in business because you are creating value for somebody. If you stop creating value, people will stop coming to you. They will go somewhere else where they are going to get updated value. They are going to get recent value. They are going to get the kind of value that will solve their new problems. That's why you're always upgrading your products to upgrade the value you're creating. That's why you're always thinking of new products and new services so you can create new value for your target market. So being excellent in your product, being excellent in your operations, anything from operation, anything that pertains to that business, being excellent in coming on time, punctuality, that's excellence. You see, to consistent value creation will keep you in business for a very long time. Don't run a business that year in, year out, there's no new product. You have not changed your product. You have not changed your operations. Everything is the same. How do you want to stay and consistently have customers that will buy from you? The fifth element that we need to look at is the development and the implementation of systems and structures for operational efficiency and accountability. The development and the implementation of systems and structures for operational efficiency and accountability. This is very important in building a thriving business. A business with no systems, a business with no operational structure, a business with no policy will not go places. So you need to develop systems and implementation structures. It could be systems around expenses. It could be systems around recruitment. How do you recruit new employees? Do you have a system for it? How do you manage expenses? There's a system for how are expenses recorded. Do you just sit and buy a product? And go through an expense? What is the process of incurring an expense in business? What is the process of managing employees? What is the process of sanctioning employees? There are many companies that don't have any process of recruiting and onboarding new employees. You recruit people anyhow, and they bring in that toxic culture. There's no structure of recruitment. So you need to sit down and write down systems. Systems is a step-by-step process of how any important thing will be done in business. Let me show you an example of this. So you see, it could be a system on how to manage the company's bank account. It could be a system on how to manage stock. You need to create a system. Many of you run businesses where employees steal from you, and some funny things happen around the business, not because of anything, but because, you know, the business is struggling. The business is struggling with no strong system that employees are not respecting. I want to show you this. Now, this is a folder of one of our clients. This is a folder. These are systems I've developed for them. Now, you see bank account management policy, expenditure requisition form, expenditure request, expense request form, local transport fare, all of these things. They are very important. And you develop the systems based on the kind of business that you are looking at. Now, let us see an example of expense policy. So you see, so I cannot teach you everything, but you need to know that, this is just for you to sit down to write what is the process that we need to go through in this business to request money for any expense. What is the process that we need to go through? That's it. If you don't have money to hire an expert to do that. Now, this is it. I don't want to open the contents with the head. This is it. Expense request policy. Purpose of this policy. This policy is to be respected by all staff members to combat company expense fraud, dishonesty, and to promote accountability. This policy must be respected. Step one, when staff needs money for any expense in the name of the company, the staff concerned must complete the expenditure requisition form and submit for approval. This expense must be clearly justified by all staff concerned. This is step one. So when this is explained to all staff, you already know if you want to go somewhere, let's say you want to go somewhere and sleep out of town and you need money for hotel. You already know that, okay, step one, I need to collect the expenditure requisition form. You fill it and you submit to the manager or whoever is in charge. The country manager, that's step two now, the country manager or the immediate supervisor present will review the expenditure form, objectives of the expense, and approve or disapprove the expense. Step three, when the expenditure requisition form is approved, the staff concerned takes it to the accountant or cash officer or the staff in charge of operations cash for the funds to be disbursed. Step 4, the accountant or the cash officer is not permitted to disburse funds for any expenditure without the expenditure form submitted that is duly signed by the appropriate authority. Step 5, when the expenditure has been incurred, the staff concerned must submit a receipt to the accountant, who will attach the expenditure form and file in the monthly expenditure folder for control purposes when necessary. Policy approved by the CEO. You see, this is the meaning of that point. Which point is that? Point 5. The development and implementation of systems and structures for operational efficiency and accountability. So sometimes you see nobody's coming to you and say, oh, I need that. You just go through the process. That's why when systems are developed like this, during staff meeting, everybody is educated on it. And it's the responsibility of the manager in play, or the executives in play, the entrepreneur in play, to make sure that these policies are in place. And at the startup stage, we keep developing these policies one step at a time as things happen. Because there are some systems that you only develop when something has happened. You see? So that is it. Number 6, the establishment of corporate governance structure with the presence and function of an effective board. The establishment of corporate governance structure with the presence and function of an effective board. Now, a thriving business should have corporate governance. Corporate governance means, what is the structure in place in managing the overall affairs of the business? The structure in place. Just in basic terms, right? The structure in place to manage the general affairs of the business. Because sometimes if it's just you, the entrepreneur, the business can overwhelm you. If you are not under any authority, any governance authority, you can make very bad decisions and nobody will hold you accountable. There are many businesses that they can do anything to the staff, to the employees, they can do anything to their company finances, they mismanage it because there's nobody advising them. There's no, they are the alpha and the omega of the company, which is wrong. Which is wrong. Because you need that governance system that directs and controls you. And in a typical business, the management board or the advisory board or the executive board of directors are a critical part of the corporate governance structure. I always say something. Fear a business you are working in that the founder or the CEO is the alpha and the omega, is the oga pata pata of it all. Fear that kind of company. It doesn't have a future. It doesn't have a future. And I'll give you many examples. I can give you many, many examples of that. So one of the best ways to do this is to have a board of directors or a management board. And sometimes before it gets to this level of you getting a board of directors, I always advise some smaller businesses, select some key members in your team, if you already have a team, and form a management team. These are people that you can sit with them and deliberate about the business, and they approve some things about the business. You are not just approving alone. Even beyond approval, just having people that you guys sit together and talk about some important things. Just talk about important things quickly, or even in a long meeting, whatever, that can lead to the goodness of the meeting. But the truth is that when you also register a business, you are expected by the company laws to also have board of directors. You even need to submit documents like ID cards and even CVs of board members to a certain level when they are registering a certain company. But you need a governance structure. a board that meets every month, once a month, or once in 2 months, once in 3 months, and they analyze the company for that month, the company's operations. They ask you questions. They hold you, the founder, the CEO, accountable. They ask you challenging questions. They even shout at you. They question you. Oh, yes, I have a company. I'm the founder of my company. I'm the CEO of Cost Dev Group. I have a board that I report to. I have a board that I submit monthly reports to. And they question me. They hold me accountable. You see? And that's what makes a great company. That's what makes a company that will go places. But if you run a business and you are the everything of the everything, that business will not go places. Sometimes you can just even select some friends or some people you respect around you and just formally ask them, look, as a young startup entrepreneur, I really want to just make this business work. I want to do it the right way. Please, can you always be available just once a month to review my company for me, to review my business for me, to just ask me questions, follow up with me, hold me accountable, hold me responsible for my actions. There are some of you that you're not even bothered whether you're profitable at the end of the month or not, because nobody's going to question you whether you're profitable or not. That's why you don't even work hard to be profitable. Sometimes when my staff asks for salary increment, I say, okay, the board will need to approve. So you guys need to work hard. I submit it, I submit the reports to them, and I can now recommend, oh, you see, I think that we should do salary increment. And if when they see the reports, they get my feedback about the team, oh, they can also, you know what, okay, we're going to approve salary increment. You see, I cannot just behave anyhow, because the board would definitely hold me accountable. That's the governance structure. There are some of you, so if I interview here, you don't remember the last time that you sat like that, even you alone, self, and just review how your business is performing. But you call yourself an entrepreneur, and you say you want to build the biggest company or the most powerful company in Africa or in Cameroon. Yeah, just making noise, man. If you don't start from these things now, these are the things that makes a great company. These are things that make up a great company. Some of you may need to, so you need to set up a governance board after this. Especially if you already have a business of more than one employee and you're already making profits every month and you're really serious that this business should have a future. Are we there? If you're still there, say that you're following. All right, indicate in the chat box that you're following. Who said that I'm following as if you're sleeping and following at the same time? All right, good. Let's look at number 7, the 7 element, the checklist. Having a result-oriented and people-centered culture. Having a result-oriented and people-centered culture. A company or a business that will go places operates a result-oriented and a people-centered culture. What does that mean? The business is pushing so hard. You as the founder, you as the executive, you are pushing so hard for result, for profitability, for high sales. That's result oriented. You are making sure that every month you are profitable. Every month you are making good sales. Every month you are hitting the numbers. Every month you are selling the number of units you wanted to sell. Yeah, that's result oriented. But at the same time, you are also people centered. What does that mean? You take care of employees. You love employees. You respect employees. You honor employees. You don't maltreat employees. You don't disrespect employees. That is result-oriented culture and people-centered culture. But in many businesses in Africa, you see founders treat employees so bad, and they're pushing on them for, oh, make sales, bring sales, be profitable. When you are sick, they don't even care whether you're sick. When you are When you are not happy, they don't even care whether you're happy or not. They don't even know whether you are, they don't care about you. They don't care whether they're paying you well or not. That part of them is not there. But they want you at work every morning. They want you to produce results every day. They want profitability at the end of the month. So they are just results. These are the kind of business they don't see people as human beings per se. Although they may claim to just call you by name, but they don't really see you as an integral part of humanity. Let me say it that way. That's not a good business. A good business is result oriented and people centered oriented. The culture of result is there. Oh yes, we need to produce good results. We need to make sure that we are profitable. We need to make sure that we are increasing our, if last month we sold 1,000 pieces, this month we need to sell 1,200. We need to always upgrade our sales quantity. But at the same time, we need to take care of our people. We need to respect our people. We need to be kind to them. We need to create initiatives in the business that take care of them. Maybe social insurance, maybe outing, maybe staff hangout, maybe bonuses, maybe celebrating staff birthday in a special way. You create things that show that you love the humans you are working with. That's the meaning of result-oriented and people-oriented. Many of you are working in companies like that where they just care about the result. They don't care how you feel. They don't treat you with respect. Your salary is the same for the last 5 years, 4 years, nothing is changing. They don't even, many things are not right. So you're depressed and you're angry, but you're still working there because you need the money. You see, but that's not a good place. There are some of you that you would have gone the extra mile in that place if no matter how much they are paying you, but they see you as an important person. There's a people-centered culture intentionally being promoted at that place. A better business is resourceful, and of course, people-centered. So as you run your business, you need to make sure that you combine these two. Be a leader, be an executive that pushes for effectiveness and results, but at the same time, you are people-centered. You care for people and you support your employees. Number 8, the 8th element in this checklist that you need to pay attention to as an executive entrepreneur is be good at rolling out products and services that have a market and constant demand. This is very important. You need to be very good at launching new products or upgrading your products and services or packaging your service offers or product offers in a way that has market demand and constant demand. Sometimes it is one thing to create value. It is one thing to create new products and services, but it is another thing to package it in a way that will have constant demand or have high market demand. It's a skill. It is a skill to be able to launch a product that people will clamor for it, a product that will have high market desirability. So you need to make sure that the way you launch your products, the way you launch your service offers, you are going to structure it in a way that it will have constant demand. It will meet the needs of the customers and they will constantly demand for it. You launch a product into a target market. You launch a product in a season that will have high demand and constant demand. You need to be conscious of that. Don't just launch anyhow. There are many of you just launch. As it comes to your mind, you just launch. As you think about it, you just launch. You have not even asked a question. Will this product have constant demand? If they buy it today, will they still buy it next week? Will they still buy it next year, next month, and all of that? Or what can I do? How can I package this service offer? How can I structure this in a way that will have constant demand and high demand. That's why some businesses create campaigns. For example, Labor Day is coming. Look at your business. What kind of campaign can you create? What kind of service offer can you create that will have high demand within the season of Labor Day? You see? So you need to have the skill of knowing how to roll out products and services that have a market demand and constant demand. Number 9, the establishment of relationship with financiers, including investors and bankers. Very important. If you are in business, if you are a businessman, an entrepreneur, an executive, and you don't know how to establish relationship with people that have money, you are just joking with your business. If you want to ever grow a great business, your money is not enough to grow a business. Never, never enough. Your money will never be enough to grow a great business. A good entrepreneur, a good business, as your business is growing, please be in good terms with potential investors and bankers. Be in good terms with the bank manager if you can. Look at every great business person. I was watching a documentary of Diamond Bank, Access Bank. Yes, Access Bank. I'm following that bank carefully. Very interesting story. Started by built by two friends per se. And last few weeks ago, they were celebrating their 20 years anniversary or so. And Dangote was a guest. Dangote was a guest, and he gave a speech. And other great business people in Africa, they were guests. You see? And Dangote, during his remarks, was sharing how the bank has accompanied him in his business and giving him good loans and all of that. He has a personal relationship with the bank managers, with the CEOs of that bank. Check, I have noticed that every great businessman has very strong relationship with bankers. Because sometimes getting a loan, like imagine you're getting a loan for 100 billion. Just spring out from nowhere, nobody knows you, nobody knows your business, nobody knows your portfolio, and then nobody will give you that kind of money. But when you have a personal relationship, they know your business, they know your capabilities, they know what you can do, boom. It greatly helps you to actually raise the capital you need, short-term capital and long-term capital. Same for investors. There are some people that they are just investors. They just want to invest in businesses and own equity or collect dividends at the end of the month or of the year, whatever. You need to create relationships with those people. But the point is, if you are building a great business, you need to know how to build relationship with financiers, people that can give you money. Number 10, the 10th element in this checklist that you need to start and build a thriving business in Africa is identification, deployment, and effective management of great talent. Identification, deployment, and effective management of great talent. No business will ever grow beyond the quality of the talent that business has. No business will ever grow beyond the skills of the people that work for that business. Knowing how to identify the right people to recruit for your business is very important. Knowing how to deploy them, knowing how to put this person here and here. Oh, this person, you're good in marketing, head the marketing department. This person, you're good in operations, head operations. This person, you're good in leadership, be the manager, be the coordinator, be this, be that, be the cash officer, be the chief finance person, be this, be that, be that, be that, be that. You see, that's the meaning of identification. Like you can see a talent, you can see somebody say, please, I think the way you are good, I want to recruit you into the business. I want to recruit you to work for me. Then when you recruit them, you deploy them. You can train them. You can send them for further training. Then you deploy them into the right office. You can have very good employees, but you put them in the wrong place. You put them in the wrong place. You see? So you need to be very good at looking. You can see a very good talent. You can identify potentials. The way somebody behaves around you, the way somebody handles issues around you, you can see potentials and talent. And you should be good at deploying that talent into the right office in the business. Very important in business. You would never grow your business beyond the talent that you have. That's why it's important to invest in your people. That's why I feel sorry. I feel sorry for CEOs and leaders who don't. I feel sorry for leaders, CEOs who are not people-centered. I don't know how they're going to grow their business into a great extent without great talent, without deploying great talent, without harnessing the talent, without training the people. Look at great companies. Part of their biggest budget go into staff training. Part of their biggest budget goes into recruitment. That's why now there are many companies that have academies. Like you see a bank will have, like UBA Bank will have UBA Academy. You see Facebook has an academy. You see McKinsey have an academy. Many of these great companies have their training academy where they recruit talent, intelligent, potential people. They go through their training, their kind of training. Then they select the best and recruit into their company. That's how they identify talent and deploy that talent. So in business, you will need, don't just recruit anyhow. Some of you recruit people anyhow. You don't really go through to identify if this person has talent and how will you harness and deploy this talent. You cannot call yourself a manager, a leader, an executive if you are not good at talent identification, one thing, talent deployment, growing that talent, harnessing that talent, and making good use of that talent in the right and productive way. Number 11, the 11th element that you need to build a thriving business is having a clear eye on cash flow and ensuring consistent presence of cash and investment. Very important and very challenging too. Having an unwavering eye, a clear understanding on cash flow and ensuring consistent presence of cash and investment. Very critical in business. What does that mean? It means that you are very good. I always say, see, whether you read finance or not, whether you are good with numbers, whether you are bad in arithmetic or not, one of the basic fundamentals of every business person is to know some basic things about money. Know how income and expenditure statement works. Know how profit and loss account works. Know how the balance sheet works. Know how cash flow statement, know how these things work. If you don't know, please look for somebody who knows, pay the person to teach you. Some few days you can know the basics. I'm not saying you should be an expert, no. Even me, I don't have to be an expert in that thing. That's why there are trained accountants, there are trained finance officers. Pay for their services, recruit them into your company and let them know some of these basic things. Every successful businessman knows how money works. They know how money moves. That's the meaning of cash flow. You cannot claim to be in business. You don't know how income moves. You don't know how expenses move. You don't know how investment in your asset moves. And you don't know. You have no idea. That's how the some of your employees can quickly steal money from you and you have no idea. A good business person has a clear eye on cash flow. How are expenses moving at the end of the month? How much is the general revenue for the month? Okay, if they remove expenses now, what is the net profit? Okay, if they remove taxes now, what is the net profit after tax? What is net profit before tax, net profit after tax? All of those things, you need to know them and pay attention to them. You need to track the growth. Okay, last month our profit was this. This month our profit is this. Last month our expenses doubled. Okay, what made the expenses to double? Was it important? Okay, yes, good. You need to have an eye on that. And that's why I pity any business that it is not even keeping any financial record at all. That's why like that. If I ask you now, give me your income and expenditure statement for the last 6 months, you have nothing to show for it. You don't know whether you're making money or you're losing money. You have no eye on the business. You don't know whether the business has money or not. You don't know how much is in the bank, how much is in the mobile money, how much is in the in your cash as cash. You have no idea. You have no idea of how much you've invested. You have no idea of how much on the returns on investment on that business. Worst of all, so you have people that are giving you money in the business to put in the business. You have no idea how the investments are performing. You see, not good at all for your business. You are not building a great business by doing all of that. Number 12, the 12th element that you need to manifest to start and build a thriving business is the manifestation of visionary leadership, courage, empathy, and constant development of other leaders. Yes, to build a great company, a great business, you need to have visionary leadership. You need to have visionary leadership. Stop existing. Without visionary leadership, business will struggle. Every successful business person practices visionary leadership style. The ability to mobilize people, the ability to see a future. You can see your business 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. Then you have the ability to mobilize people, to mobilize employees, to see where you're taking them to mobilize the resources that you need to take the business where it should be. That is visionary leadership. You will not be able to build a business without visionary leadership. The ability to see the future of that business, then you mobilize people to believe in that future and to work towards that future. One of the best examples of visionary leadership in history is Martin Luther King. He had a vision that someday Blacks in America will be treated the same like whites. I have a dream. That was his visionary leadership statement. I have a dream that someday my daughters will be treated based on the content, on their content, and not on the color of their skin. Someday, visionary leadership. And then he mobilized thousands of millions of other Americans to believe and work towards that particular vision. Decades after, tens of years after, a Black president was voted into power. That is what visionary leadership can lead to. You are building a business. What kind of vision do you have for that business? How are you mobilizing? Like a lot of things I do in our staff meeting is I keep reminding the employees, this is where we are going to. We are not, this is not where we are, we should be. Where we are just in the foundation. We are going somewhere. And I need you guys to believe that we are going somewhere. Very important. Signs that you have visionary leadership is that, number one, you build a vision. You have established the vision for the business for tomorrow. You build a vision. Number two, you nurture collaboration among your team members for that vision of tomorrow. Number three, you promote high performance. You strongly encourage and promote employees who are high performers. You can give them bonuses, special allowance, whatever, to encourage high performance. Number four, you promote learning. You push your employees to learn. You teach them to learn. You keep telling them to learn. If they don't learn, the company will outgrow them. The vision will outgrow them. You push them to learn. Number five, you're always ensuring results. You're always pushing for monthly results. Guys, we need to produce results. For us to manifest the vision of tomorrow, we need to produce results today, la, la, la. You see, you need to manifest these attributes of visionary leadership. So in element number 12, for you to start and build a thriving company, you need to exhibit visionary leadership. You need to exhibit courage, especially in a difficult terrain like Africa. In a difficult environment like Cameroon, where leadership is terrible, tax people are looking for more money, how they can collect money from you, other government officials are embezzling, they're corrupt, when they pass around your business, they only know how to collect money. You need the courage to stand against that. You need the courage to know what you must know as information, so that when they come to you to threaten you, you know what is right and what is for the law, and you stand boldly and speak against it. You need that courage to manifest it. You need empathy. You need to empathize with the employees. You need to empathize with their customers so you can build better products for them. You need constant development of yourself. Constantly feed yourself. Develop your attitude. Develop your character. Develop your skills. Develop your leadership abilities. You need these things to build a thriving company. Number 13. Excellent customer service. Excellent customer service and excellent management, an excellent customer management system. You cannot build a great business if you don't know how to serve customers well. Create an excellent experience for your customers. When somebody buys from you, what is the kind of experience that they go through? When you serve your customers, what is the kind of experience that they go through in your business? And then how do you manage the customer? Do you have a database of where you keep your customers' contacts? Do you have an SMS system that you can send an SMS and encourage your customers and check on them? Do you do surveys to ask customers how they feel about the kind of service they get from you? Very important. You cannot build a great business without great customer service. For a customer to practice repeat and regular purchase from you, it means to serve them well. And a sustainable business has more people who practice repeat and regular purchase. The more people you have that like to spend their money only in your business, the more money you're going to make. So if your customer service is so bad that people buy from you only one time and they go and never come back, you will never be sustainable. And you will keep spending money in acquiring new customers. It is cheaper to retain customers and more expensive to acquire new customers. That's why a good business, you do your best to retain customers. You do your best to push customers to buy from you often, to practice repeat and regular purchase. You do your best to do that. Don't be so terrible in your customer service and customer management that everybody buys from you one time. Once they buy from you, and they are gone. They don't show up again. How about? You will keep losing money in marketing expenses. There are some businesses that as time goes on, their marketing budget reduces because their excellent customer service becomes their marketing. The way they serve customers, they are always coming back to buy from them and spend money from them. Very important in business. Number 14. Excellent focus on the ultimate goal of building a great business and working on achieving that every day. Focus. excellent focus on building a great business and working on a daily basis to achieve a great business. That means you and your employees, everybody has this mentality that you're building the next big thing. Yes, the future is bright. Yes, we don't want to build a great company tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Yes, that is already established. But are you working on a daily basis to make sure that you're building a great company? A great company doesn't just appear. It is the daily hard work of the team members, of the executives, of the founder, of the entrepreneur that leads to a great company. So this excellent focus on that ultimate goal of building a thriving business should be there. We are not settling for less. We have one focus as a team, building a thriving business, building an excellent company, building a company with excellent products, building a company with excellent customer service, building a company that is good with strategy and execution. And on a daily basis, we come to work on time. Nobody comes late. There's high punctuality because we know that on a daily basis, we are working hard to build a great company. We serve any customer, whether the customer is spending 1 million or the customer is spending just 1 franc or 100 francs, we serve them excellently on a daily basis because those are the actions that lead to a great company. As a leader, you are treating your staff every day. Even if you are paying them just 20,000 francs, pay them with respect, honor, excellence, work with them, be people-centered on a daily basis. Don't wait for them to be a big company before you start treating employees right. When money will come, the real you will be revealed because money doesn't change people. Money only reveals the real you. So if the real you cannot start managing staff the right way now and treating them well and paying them the best way you can right now, when the money will come, you will not still do it right. So on a daily basis, you are on a mission to build a great company. You have this high-level consciousness, massive consciousness. You have this massive consciousness that every action by you or your staff is leading to a great business. You have this massive consciousness that my daily action, and every staff has that consciousness, our daily action, our daily realities, our daily steps, our daily commitment, how committed we are to this work will lead to us building that thriving business tomorrow. Everybody should have that consciousness and that focus on the ultimate goal of building a great company. So these 14 elements are very critical. They're a blueprint for you. You now need to pick, where are we lacking? Where am I lacking as an entrepreneur, as an executive, as a worker in a business? Where do I need to upgrade and start taking new actions? If you miss out on these 14 elements, a great business may elude you. You may never have a great company tomorrow. You'll be like many people who operate for 10 years, 15 years. They have just 2 staff and they cannot boast of a profit of more than 500,000 francs after 10 years in business. Because they have not put the necessary elements in play that can enable them build a thriving business. So dedicate yourself seriously, be focused, be committed to ensuring that you are manifesting all of these 14 elements in building a thriving business for yourself or as an executive. It will greatly help you to be an incredible and thriving entrepreneur. All right, people, that's it for today's session. Let us get some questions and, of course, chat and round up the session.